Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. Time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. We're going to go ahead and do the second scenario, which is the only other Class 375 scenario on this route. I do need to get to the Faversham route to look at the 465 as well, which will give us some high-speed driving before we bring it back here. That route came first, so technically I want to do that first, and then come back to this one to look at more 465. We'll also get to see the 466 on that route as well. This set of scenarios is very short. I might do that all in one go in a week or two. And then we'll be able to move on from that unless we do some custom scenarios, or unless we do the version of this route that includes that route, except it's a newer version of the route, different version. So we are definitely gonna have to get Faversham in here before we move on to the 465, just for the sake of doing things in a somewhat feasible fashion here. Obviously, I'll have to get some U.S. Stuff in here in the future as well. I've been kind of neglecting going back there. I even went to Germany ahead of the U.S. a couple times. And I do want to finish a couple. I do want to finish one route there and do a custom scenario there and do some other stuff, but we'll figure that out later. I'm kind of just on a push to get some of the UK stuff done right now, and well, that's kind of okay with me. I actually am enjoying some of the UK stuff. And this should be a nice short scenario today that we're going to be doing into London, Victoria. It's a diversion scenario, so we'll see where we end up starting on the branch here in just a moment as we start the scenario. Welcome aboard 2C74, operating a Southeastern service to London Charing Cross. Due to late-night engineering works, this service is being diverted into London, Victoria via Herne Hill. Once boarding is complete, depart when ready. Okay, let's do this apparently very unorthodox service here. And doors are open. Everything is going to be set up here. You can see I have the AWS self-test going on there. We are starting at Orpington. So if you're not familiar with where Orpington is, here's a chance to look at it. Orpington is right here where our route terminates back here. So quick peek. Actually, it's nighttime, so we're not going to see much. Never mind, we're not going to look at that. But you can see we're going to be merging back onto the normal part of the line here. So we're going to be going through a station we don't get to see often here in Potts Wood. A station we're not going to be seeing is this one over here, which is Chislehurst. So we're not going to be seeing that because we're going to be merging onto the other line, continuing along the route at this point. So we're going to continue along. I don't know which path yet, but we'll find out when we get going. And at some point, I think these merge, by the way. Don't know why they just put in the last part of the railway there. We're going to eventually be coming to London, Victoria here with a stop at Bromley South. That's all we're doing today. So let's look at the train as we get ready to depart. Leaving Orpington, our first stop will be at Bromley South as we merge back onto the main line here, heading towards London, Victoria. Normally to Charing Cross, as the brief said, but we are limiting to London, Victoria to the diversion that we are expected to follow today. This is a 90-mile-per-hour track that we are on right now, which is a shame that we only have three stations on it. So you can see we are being referenced via the Potts Wood area here. I don't know if there's a track speed limit on the junction that I need to be worrying about. And I kind of don't want to speed too much just in case there is. So I kind of want to keep my speed down just in case. Being a little bit cautionary here. Let's leave it at 40 in fact. I'm going to stay at 40 for a moment just in case. I do see a 20 coming up, or 70, sorry, coming up here. So Pets Wood, is that how that's said? Interesting. Pets Wood. Well, it looks like the speed limit coming up is 70, so I'm just going to go ahead and start speeding up a bit more. Makes sense to me. The headlights don't seem to be doing very much here. See, you saw they were on. I just changed them to show you they were on. But they're not doing very much. I mean, what do I expect, right? So here's Petswood. There is a 50 section coming up here as well, but we are going to limit to 60 for right now. And also, yes, I know, nighttime scenario. What can you do? So I was losing a little time there. I should be able to do a little bit better now in terms of time. So let's make sure we get those seconds back as much as we can. We have to push 60 for a moment here to see if we can keep some time. And I am draining some seconds off as I get close to 60. So that works out nicely. But as we get within about 0.3 of a mile of the speed change, I'm going to put a step 1 brake on. That was actually a little too early, it looks like, because I'm already down to 54, even with the downhill. So I'm going to bring it down the rest of the way now. There we go. So I believe this is where we're now going to be merging onto the main line. We're going to be stopping at Bromley South, which I believe is the first station in the section that we're going to be taking here. I can go up to 60 again, but I kind of don't want to go too fast here because we do have our stop 1.25 miles away. We're on a downhill, so I'm going to cut my speed back, in fact. This is another station. I don't have it immediately on hand, just getting it right now. Okay, it is Bickley. That is Bickley that we just went through. I had to remember. I forgot there was a station there. It wasn't marked on the HUD, and I didn't see it on my map. So yeah, Bickley is there. Glad we got that sorted out. So actually, that was a little early for a step 1 brake, and keep going for a moment. We do have to actually come to a very sharp stop as well, it looks like, because I am seeing that we are really pushing the seconds here. We should still be on time, but I am going to be pushing it a little bit. Let's get that step 2 brake on. Either someone went by or we just went over a bridge. So if someone's going to say I'm coming in a little bit fast here, you're absolutely right. I'm doing it intentionally. And now that I think about it, that might be the right speed to come in at with this size of a train. It might be. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just let this coast to a stop now. I'm going to be very, very close to my seconds here. Full service to get it down quickly. And doors are open probably about 1 second late at Bromley South. Leaving Bromley South, our next and only other stop today is London Victoria, platform number 6. We leave at 60 mile per hour speed limit. I don't know yet what path we're going to be taking here after Beckenham Junction. So I might have to take a peek at the map just to confirm what way we're going. If you wonder what I mean when I'm saying that, I'll bring up the map in just a second once I know my speed is steady, because I'm still increasing speed right now. Actually, I should be at throttle 4 while I increase my speed. Our ATA is currently late, so we need to make back the time as well, it looks like. There we go. So quick peek at the map, you're going to see that we are coming up to... actually, I should show you that. There's our platform that I was just going through, and I didn't even want to tell you what the station was. That is Shortlands. I think it was Shortlands. That's how you say that. Yeah, Shortlands. That's absolutely right. So my speed is coming off. Let's get some speed back. So we're coming up to Beckenham Junction after the split here. You can see that split also is a track that exists. So yeah, we are actually going to be going to the track through Beckenham Junction, it looks like. And we are staying on the lower track here. So there you go. That's what we're doing today. The other path would have gone through Ravensbourne, and that line is in this DLC. And produced and created. Let's watch this downhill. I caught my speed suddenly going up there, so this is why you leave a little room every time you drive, guys. You leave a little speed room to catch these surprises. So I'm right up at 60 miles per hour exactly at this time. Absolutely perfect speed limit right now, and now just slightly cresting. That'll change. There it goes. And down. We're under. So I believe this is that Beckenham Junction station, if I got my distance correct on that. We're going to eventually be coming to Kent House next. I know it doesn't look like much. I can't even tell where we're turning here. The tracks are that bad in terms of light in the screen right now. Couldn't they give us a full moon so we had some light here? Like, this is also the Armstrong Powerhouse enhancements I have on the route, so we are seeing nighttime as it is in the AP enhancement pack, which, as you may notice as we go through Kent House, it's not really much different than the regular nighttime. It's just as dark. In fact, it might be darker. I don't know. The next station will be Peng East. It might be pronounced Penge East. I'm not 100%. And now I'm actually trying to figure out because we have a tunnel after that. Okay, I see what was confusing me. There is a tunnel after that. I thought the track just suddenly ended at the next track, but no, there is a tunnel that we're going to be going into after Peng East. Coincidentally, it's called the Peng Tunnel, and that should be coming up right about now. So here's the end of the platform, and we should be entering the tunnel. There it is. This is a lengthy tunnel, so we're going to be in here for a while. So we'll just keep an eye on our speed limit here. The good news about being in a tunnel at night is it doesn't look any different. It looks exactly the same. And when we emerge from the tunnel, we'll be in Sydenham Hill. Here comes that end of the tunnel. We can also see a downhill gradient coming out of the tunnel as we approach a 45 speed limit. That's a nice combination. Sydenham Hill Station. Yeah, that downhill is starting to affect me, so I took the throttle off. I'm probably going to put a small brake application on in just a moment. Good news is I've made back about half a minute here. Maybe a whole minute at this point. I think it was actually well above the target time when we started. Now that 45 is temporary. We're allowed to go back up to 60 after that. Usually this kind of thing is either a limit imposed by a station or some kind of a sharp curve or some other reason that we may not know about. Could be bad infrastructure in that area, which has been known to be a problem. West Dulwich. Usually bad infrastructure does get fixed as well, but some things just can't be changed. For example, a certain tunnel entrance, you have to slow down for a tunnel because it's hard and it's impossible to really do anything to fix anything in that tunnel. So that area is permanently a lower speed limit until you get out of the tunnel. It happens. I slowed down a little too early because I am losing time, so I'm going to kind of maintain where I am in the 50s right now. We're getting a warning for the 45 now, which further proves I slowed down way too early. This 45 does affect us. So, we are down there now. So a little funny story from today. I was visiting my mother before recording this today, and we happened to watch a game show that she had recorded and hadn't watched yet. A trivia question came up on the show. This is actually a show called The Wall. I know in the UK they have this show as well. The station we're passing through, by the way, is will be in my mind in just a moment once I get it to show up on my screen. It's not showing up. I can't tell you right now. Herne Hill. That must be Herne Hill that we are going through. So it is the US version of The Wall. And a question came up about the Transcontinental Railroad or something, whatever. I think it was what it was called, something like that. And I actually remembered reading about that in the manual for, I'd want to say it was the Donner Pass. It was for some U.S. route in Train Simulator Classic that we had a manual for, which is most of them. Getting more into the 45 again. Weren't we just down there? So the question was regarding a gold stake being driven in, and I actually had read and knew that two different railroads met at that gold stake and put it in there to commemorate the merger of the tracks between those railroads. As we go through another station, which I believe is Brixton. Might be one off on that, but I think it's Brixton. And I remember there were two other specifically colored stakes as well on either side of that gold stake. So I do know that was a very celebrated achievement at that time. And it was a trivia question on the show asking what state that gold peg was planted into the railroad tie. So it was asking where that gold peg was located, what state. I think it was California, Utah, Arizona, and something else. So we'll go with those three, California, Utah, and Arizona. Which one do you think it was in, guys? Go ahead and make a guess. I'll tell you later on in the video if I remember. It won't be very much longer because it's a very short scenario and I only have about 3 miles to go. But Promontory Summit. Where's the gold stake? I shouldn't have said Promontory Summit. That was part of the information that was not revealed. So now I've given you a bit of a spoiler. Now this might be where Brixton was. I feel like I missed a station somewhere. And I'm not sure which station I missed. I honestly do not know offhand. I'm now thinking that might have been Clapham High Street. That makes more sense from the distance. If I'm right, then Wandsworth Road will not be very far away, and it should be the next station. For some reason, that bridge looks familiar. Too much South London network. That might have just been Wandsworth Road. I thought we would see a platform. Maybe I didn't see it properly. Hello! Being warned for a yellow signal here, which we're going to have to slow down for. So that is a double yellow that we've been given. So I don't need to slow down completely. It's only a double yellow signal. We have lots of time. So we can pull up and be expecting that we will get a red because we got 5 minutes to do this, a mile and a half to go. We are, of course, going to have to get down to 20 by the time we come into the London Victoria area because it does go down to 20 in all lanes as you enter or leave the platforms at London Victoria. Or the sidings, I guess, too, except they're slower. And I've never actually taken a train in or out of them. None of the official scenarios I've seen so far have had us visit the sidings near London Victoria. Be a nice way to start a service somewhere. So you can see that we still have some sort of a yellow ahead next to a red in the other lane. We don't... Oh, there's actually two yellows. One of them is most assuredly ours. Oh, it's now a double yellow again. Well, now it's a green. I'm going way too slow, guys. I'm going to have to go down 20 in just a moment anyway. Fun fact, that is a green signal. That means that we are now cleared in London Victoria Platform 6. So if we were any faster, we would have been waiting for a train. 40 is the speed limit in the section coming up. We're going to go down to 20 and down to 15 for the side we're going into. Normally it is 20, but for our lane it will be 15. There is a permanent double yellow signal because that's the highest aspect that that signal can show. So I say permanent. It basically should mean only up to a double yellow signal. We're now being warned about a further speed reduction. Down to 20 miles per hour. We will then get warned about the single yellow signal that is always going to be the only other signal option at this signal. Single yellow or red at all times. And as I zoom in, is that a red I have right now? That can't be right. No, it's a yellow. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong platform. Looking at the wrong signal, I should say. I had to zoom in for a second because I wasn't sure where my signal was. I knew I was cleared, I just was looking for the signal. So there is our platform 6 indicator, which is where we are going. I'm already down to 15 a little early here. I'm off the downhill at this point, so I can just coast in at this stage. I will need to lower my speed slightly before I get to the platform so I don't have the emergency brake trigger on me. I am a few seconds early on my ETA. I did lose a little time on the latter part, but that's okay, because I slowed down for what could have been a red signal. So that's perfectly alright. I hear another train next to me. Somewhere. So the speed actually came down nicely on its own, but I brought it down to 10 just to be safe. 11 probably would be alright. But I want to get it under 10. Because 10 really does make sense as a limit entering a platform. So we're going to go ahead and bring the train far enough in. I could not have come in at 15, and the shame is that 15 is probably a speed that I would have been more comfortable coming in at, but I should still be on time. No problem. So I brought it down to 5 to 6 miles per hour for no really good reason. I should be taking the train all the way to the buffer, but this could be costly if I do that. So, Yeah, I'm just going to stop the train right here. This is good enough. Let's make sure we're on time here. Doors are open at London Victoria, platform number 6. Let's take one more look at our train and get the answer to our trivia. So the Gold Stake at the Promontory Summit, located in the state of Utah, for those who were playing along. And if you guessed correctly, well, either you've played the route before or you know some trivia that is something you've never done, or who knows. Or you made a random lucky guess. I almost thought it was California, but I knew I'd read that and I knew it couldn't be California. It was a transcontinental railroad after all, and that was the first state. So Chatham Main Line Gold Star is the achievement I've now unlocked. Probably a scoring achievement here. Great work. All tasks completed successfully. Let's see how well you did. Well, shouldn't be too hard. Let's take a look. There we are. We got the A plus on that. I thought it was going to show me a score as a scoring achievement. Not too hard of a scenario. There's a couple more thousands on my group of people here who have played this. And I'm getting close to the 200,000 XP marker on here, which is very, very interesting. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, you can see I've now changed my emblem up with level 50 and 51 to a bigger one, because bigger is always better. But again, it doesn't mean anything, so who cares? Gold star, looks like a gold star is actually 1,000 points on this scenario, which I was not expecting. But the gold star is right at the end of the marker, so I think it is actually 1,000 points for the gold star. And by that logic, that means that the achievement requires you to have 1,000 points in order to get that gold star, and you therefore get that achievement. And I'm going in circles now, so I'll stop there. Yeah, that's the end of those two scenarios on the Chatham Main Line. We are going to come back to the Chatham Main Line with the 465. But I kind of want to take a look at the 465 on London Faversham first. I don't know if I'm going to do that next time or if I'll wait until next week to do that. But I do want to come back to this after seeing London Faversham for a bit. So I might go to the U.S. next week or later in the week. I haven't decided yet. So I might be looking at the U.S. on Tuesday to finish. I want to finish Miami to West Palm Beach because I have one scenario left. And I kind of want to play that custom scenario because that would be a fun drive. I may cut out some of that scenario, but it would be a fun drive to see how that one surprise scenario looks and see if it still looks the same in the current version of the game. I don't see why it wouldn't, but it would be fun to do that. So I kind of want to finish Miami to West Palm Beach. Might do that next time. And I'm kind of leaning towards going back to Sherman Hill at some point as well. But I do have to also, once again, get to that Rio Grande route that I've been wanting to get my eyes on. Literally, I just have not had time to try to learn to drive that train yet. My schedule in real life has just been crazy of late. So I literally have not had time to learn that train. Had it been a few weeks earlier, I might have actually gotten a drive-in on it by now. But yeah, it's just been a bit crazy with things going on here. I'll see you next time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Make sure you do like the video, subscribe to the channel. And I do have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you at your part of the world. I will see you next time for more Train Simulator Classic. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.